Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing? I am hearing echoes because I got everything turned on and I didn't get it turned on. So I'm so glad you're all here. I am going to quickly, before I bring my co host on, which is Dadman Walking, let me go over here and check my channels here real quick just to make sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to. Because, when you don't check, that's when things get messed up. So that looks good there. That looks good there. And my YouTube looks good. I am going to like myself because you always need to like yourself. And then let me share this over in the Twixverse and the Threadosphere. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm hating this stupid. Every time I go over to Twix, I get a pop up about their Black Friday sale. I don't want their Black Friday sale. I don't want to. So stop telling me about it. So I've got this posted over here on Twix. And now let me go over to Threads. We've got it posted here. So there. Now, before we get to the chat, I'm going to introduce the yin to my yang, the peanut to my butter, or the peanut butter to my jelly, the grilled cheese to my tomato soup. The one, the only Dadman Walking 55. Hello there, Dadman.
Hey, sweetheart, how are you tonight? At least
I
I'm
am.
the butt end of it, but hey, cool.
You're the bread to my butter.
All right, I'll take
Oh,
that
that
any
could be
day.
wrong. So wrong. So welcome. I'm going to go ahead and get to the chat here real quick. We have Corey Cochran who came here at 6 o'clock and asked if he was late. Nah,
Woo.
not yet. We have Snorted Cooper's Cuber that says hello humans and other critters. Hello to you. I know that you are staying up late for this, and I thank you for that. We have Emiliana saying hello to you, and the Mary Wolfmus to Snort. And Snort says hello to you and the Wolfily Woofles. Well, I thank you so much for staying up. Um, so when that I understand that snooze monster grabbing you and throwing you in bed, but thank you for waiting until the show started. I really appreciate that. And Dadman, hello, says hi, all ready to have some fun. I hope we do have fun. We have Stream Elements and Seribot over on the Twitch side. B from O saying hello, hello, hello to you. And let's see, we have hellos and a Fallout Dave saying hello to both me and the Dad Man. So I thank you all for being here. Remember to hit that like button, and if you could please share out the stream, that would be fantastic. So this is my first time doing a stream like this, and so I'm a little nervous because Dad Man does them so well and I'm in charge. I've got the reins. He's my co-host. He said I'm gonna work real hard not to take over the show. So um, I'm a little nervous. So we are doing the movie Jingle All the Way. Um, it was in let me see when it actually aired. It was released in 1996. Um, in November, and at the Mall of America, that's where part of it was filmed. And it took about 60. I don't know, how can they not know how much it took? It says it takes 60 to the budget was 60 to 75 million. What was it? Was it 60 million or 75 million? They should know, right? That's what I think. But it did recoup its money and it made 129 million dollars. It was considered a somewhat success, but critically it was mixed um, reviews. But that being said, we're going to give our own opinion, are we not, Dad Man?
Yes, we will.
And we are going to kind of talk about the movie first and kind of do an overview. And if there's parts of it that um, that stand out, then we will. So I am using a couple websites. I am using Wikipedia, which I know people just love, and I have the IMDb, which I don't know if there's actually going to be a lot there that I'm going to use, but I'll have that one up just in case. And then I found this other one that I'm going to use some images from because we can't. I can't show anything videos. I'm afraid to because I don't know all the rules that
Right.
they have. So
By the way, can I tell you something real quick?
you absolutely can.
I just retweeted out the stream. You'll like it. You want me to read it to you?
Sure.
Let's see. Here we go. Guy right here. I said, "We are live now. Please come support the Missus as she does her all caps first show ever like this and help her channel grow as we talk and laugh about this movie." And all caps, put that cookie down now and
Okay.
come join us.
That's good. And as Fallout Dave says, it's turtle time. Sinbad had some great lines in this movie, and we will be talking
That's an
about them
understatement.
through throughout the show. And from what I read was that he ad libbed most of them, both him and Arnold Schwarzenegger. They ad libbed off of each other. So we have
Wow, that's dangerous,
Steve.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you doing tonight? I am so used to saying today. So we're going to start off with I got my notes all here. I'm so nervous. Okay, we're going to start off. I'm going to show the opening credits, and that was with Jamie, who was played by Jake Lloyd, who was not a great actor even then. For you know,
Oh
I know he
boy.
was a kid actor and we shouldn't, but he just was not that great. Um, so it opens up with him watching the Turbo Man show, and if you guys remember I'm kind of afraid that we'll just go forward. I'm not sure. They just will show some and just him watching the show and some different scenes. And there's Turbo Man. And the opening show, from what I understood, was a parody of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And that they even shot at the same location where um, they shot at for this scene. So I am not a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger fan, so I really don't know that. But the opening scene, if you've seen this movie, foreshadows the end of the movie, right, Dadman?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, you've got to participate some.
Well, okay. I'm working hard to. Okay, sorry, my bad. I was thanking Steve for his support for you
Oh,
when he said
thank you.
jingling away all the nerves. I
Oh,
can't talk
thank
and
you.
type.
I
That's
know
what I was
you
trying
can.
to do.
So anyway, that's how the movie opened, and then it goes to the
Yeah.
scene
Well,
where
because if I'll throw in here real quick. It was really interesting that we see some cameos right off the bat.
yes, let
We
me see if
had
I can
Richard
find
Mall. I
them.
had to get the names right. I called him Martin Mull earlier, but it's Richard Mall, Bull from Night Court, and Harvey Korman as the president.
Then there he is, happy that his child was returned after he was stolen by oh gosh. Okay, it's Turbo Man.
And
What's
Dementor.
the
Dementor.
mentor? Oh my god! All of a sudden, I forgot his name. And
I know it happens.
the wonderful dog. Was it Booster or some stupid
Is he a
name?
dog or what was he? Is he a
I don't know
hyena,
what
a
he is.
wolf,
I
or
I think
those fangs?
he's just a creature. Um,
But they
but
got plenty of him. Turbo Man's
yes,
faithful sidekick,
Booster.
Booster.
Yeah, Booster. Yeah, Booster. Okay, I had it right. I'm so bad with names, and I wrote them down. I should have had a little um, cheat sheet here. Yes, everyone hates you, Booster.
Yeah.
So that was near the end of the movie. Um, and yes, this was Robert Conrad's last appearance, um, I believe. So then we go to we have the party scene, yeah,
Hmm.
dad's not going to miss my karate thing, kids, welcome to the real world, and his there's then it goes to this big party scene, and then you're wondering, oh, is he partying? But no, he's not. What's he doing, Dad man?
You're my number one customer
Yes.
to everybody. I
And
like
don't
they showed it
forget,
call after
you're
call.
my number one customer.
Yes, of course I remember. I'll be at the cruddy. Oh, remember you my number one customer. To his own wife. It's like, no.
And here he gets reminded by his faithful secretary, and he doesn't listen.
And even
But
she says he's not going to make it. This
yes,
is
and
what.
as they go, it's like, oh, they're not gonna make it. I wish there was a way I could go to the full screen. They have a way where you can see all the pictures, but oh, here they go. Okay. So that's that next scene, and it just kind of sets the scene of him just really not being at this point a great dad, and I'm kind of have mixed feelings already about the movie at this point because it's hard because my dad wasn't around a lot because he worked to make money for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Howard is doing. But my dad, honestly, if he said he was going to do something, he'd be there. So he wouldn't just make a lot of promises. And every time I hear Howard say, I promise, I just want to go through the TV screen and just shake his head.
Well, I think they did that with the start of this movie. They did that with the music and all the party, all this
Hmm.
kind of light, and then contrasted with him. I mean, he's overworking. Technically, I think this is the day before Christmas Eve, and he's going through as their party. He's on the calls with customers, and then the secretary comes in with the signs and all this. Your wife, line 4. He ignored it for a while, so she finally comes through, and she hands the signs there. You're my number one customer, number one customer.
Uh,
Everybody, even his wife. So it really
oh
shows
gosh, when he
that
said that to his wife.
he's just such a into robotic thing. He's not even
Yeah,
thinking. He's like programmed to just keep doing,
and
rote by rote. And
exactly. That is yes, that is so fun. I gotta say this, when Simply Steve says, "Need to find me, tickle me," I mean Turbo Man. Actually, when they made this movie in such a short period of time, they didn't really have a lot of to do a lot of merchandising for it.
yeah,
And this is when the Tickle Me Elmo was out. So
hmm
this movie came out with the whole Tickle Me Elmo craze and the you know all the just craziness with that. Um,
there's a few
so
other things about when this movie was made that we learned during this process. So,
mhm.
do you want me to periodically show a comment here or there, or do you want to control the comments?
You can.
Okay. Well, Corey, we love lurkers as always.
Yes.
Thank you. Absolutely
So
appreciate you.
then we showed scenes of the karate, and there's little Jamie going to get his belt, and then
Aw.
we're introduced to one of my favorite characters. Not, I've got to go all the way back over here. Every time it's going to go back to the beginning. We meet Smarmy, Smarmy Ted.
Wow.
When Ted comes out, and the innuendo that the other ladies are about, oh, help me fix my wig, just there's a lot of innuendo there. I'm going, how can this be a family film? I know it goes over a lot of people's heads, but he is so smarmy. What do you think about Ted?
I think he's classy. But for this kind of role, Phil Hartman was perfect.
Oh, well,
It's just
I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking
no.
about the character.
But see, he played this so good. He made it seem you couldn't know if he was smarmy, creepy, or whatever. He was just so smooth with it.
Oh, he
He
was smarmy. My goodness, Liz was friggin' married, and he's
no,
putting the.
the more the problem I had was with her. Are you that dense woman? It's like she's
I
like
think she
seeing
was
everybody.
trying. I think she was. I agree with you. I was like, man, I would have kicked him in the cojones a while ago. But I think her and her son and his son were best friends, and she was probably trying to
but you
not
but
mess that up. And but she did really set boundaries. If you watch, he just kind of ignored them.
but yeah, it's but yes, he was a very smarmy character with that and all that, but he would go as far as they would let him, though. That's the thing. All the other
Yeah.
ladies let him do it, and even she did. She never quote these boundaries and stuff. I mean, she kept him coming over, let him put. She didn't argue when he baked the cookies. I mean, what woman? Look, I mean, she's a. Why would she go take a shower with him in her kitchen?
I just thought that was weird. I did. I agree. So okay, well let's
I
not
love
get too
this movie,
let's
but
not get
watching it
too
this,
let's not get too
I
far
know.
ahead on the scenes
But
on the
what's
scene.
so funny? One thought with this was I've always loved this movie so much, but this time watching it through, I've been hypercritical on things I've never been before. It's
Yes,
hilarious.
yes.
Oh,
So then Howard doesn't make it to the karate match, and he gets home. And what does he come home to? Ted putting Christmas lights on his house, right?
yeah, he was putting the lights on because Howard wasn't
And what
there.
did he say? He says, I thought I wish I could do smarmy. I wish I could do smarmy Phil Hartman. He goes, thought I'd spread a little cheer around the neighborhood.
Thought I'd spread a little cheer around the neighborhood.
Yep. And how thoughtful, Ted. Go away. Go away. So, yeah, and then Jamie is pissed off at his dad, justifiably so. And his dad tries to make it up. She never did say no to Ted. Yes. And yes, I do agree. She kind of set boundaries, but she didn't really set boundaries. Very easily could have said, no, 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 I am not going to take a shower because it's weird that you're in my house and I'm taking a shower because you're creepy and you're smarmy and you make me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because
This
you can
was
tell she was
obviously not before the Me Too movement.
right. But it's obvious, like that scene that you showed earlier at the karate thing, you could see on her face with she was getting that sickening look, like all the other women gushing over him and this that, and you could see she was like, but then she never. Anyway, mixed signals. Anyway,
Yes, he was a push myself between them character. So we have the kind of deadbeat dad, Howard, Liz, the mom who doesn't really sends mixed messages. I think she did to Ted. Um,
yeah.
and then we have Ted, Mr. Schmarmy, and we have Jake Lloyd, who we really haven't. I mean, he's just right now the kid who wants a Turbo Man. Um,
Yeah, but see,
um,
in we see all of a sudden when he's so angry at dad, but then come on, bud, what can I get you? And it's like became Turbo Man. That like the kid chipped up 180 degrees and all, and had that wonderful line that ran on together like reading from a
oh yes,
commercial.
wait a minute. I have got that quote. Let me
Yeah.
find it so I can read it because
Another one of those
when
mixed messages in this movie. When you're like when
when
you think
he
about it too hard.
well, I'll give you whatever you want. I want the Timberman action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the boomerang shooter, and his rock and roller jetpack, and the really realistic voice activator that says 5 different phrases, including "It's turbo time." Accessories sold separately. Batteries not included.
Yes,
Yes,
that last part especially.
yes. So, yeah, but that I think kind of shows the the commercialism that could happen. That happens at this time, and this was before. I mean, they really have. Uh, I was this before they cracked down on a lot of the ways you could market to kids on television, um, because commercials they were really bad. Um, but this is really getting the commercialism, and it just gets worse as the movie goes on. So he talks to his dad, and he's mad at him justifiably. And his dad goes up there and tries to um, make it all right. And then this has nothing to do with the movie, but this just bothers me. Has a person who has had children in karate and has received belts, and this scene bothered me to no end when he took the belt and
Mm,
tied it around his head. Um, just it was so disrespectful of the work that Jamie did, and that's just a complete side that bothered me to no end. Having kids that had to work hard, that they worked hard to get their belts, and you didn't disrespect them, and that was just so disrespectful, and that just bothered me. That's a complete
yeah.
aside, nothing to do. Don't disrespect your kids' belts, your karate belts. Don't do it.
Oh,
Oh, it was a dig at Stallone as Rambo too, probably, but oh, it just don't do it, man. Just don't do it. I'm
yeah.
gonna let
That
you.
bothered you.
I'm
You don't have
Yeah,
to react very often, but that
yeah.
one,
I'm
that
gonna
one got
let
a
you.
quick
Yeah,
reaction.
we're gonna do a little technical thing right here. I'm gonna let you put the chats up. I am not gonna touch them. That way, we won't be playing put them all up and down things.
Okay. Well, if you call one, let me know, and I'll
I
put it up.
absolutely will. But that just bothered me. And like Steve saying, Jamie's character, repeating the commercial verbatim. Yes, but my kids could do that too. There were things
Mm.
like that they could. Um, yes, you don't diss the dojo. That it just bothered me. That's just a little aside there. That yeah. Um, So, okay, so he does that, and then he promises him once again that he is not going to mess up and he's going to get him the turbo doll, a turbo man. And then
Sorry.
the next scene, what was the next scene? Yes, we all know it, we all love it. His wife saying, "You did get the doll, right?" Because he goes and is like, "Oh, we just had this wonderful moment. It was fantastic. Um, we bonded, we drew, we did all this kind of stuff." And she goes, in that little whatever, however he described it. And she goes, right here, you did get the Turbo Man doll, right?
And then I like
She
what
goes,
they did with that.
yes, they're not dolls, they're action figures. I know, I know, stunning. And
Boy,
hello,
stunning.
welcome. I'm sorry,
Boy,
I'm used to putting it up.
yeah,
Hello, stunning.
boy. But see,
Um,
what I liked with that scene though was in the bed they had laid down, and she said that just as the light went off, and then you get that classic roll where it's kind of like Home Alone with the
but
ah. But
yeah,
but when he looked, big eyes and the light just shone on his eyes, like that
but
was the
this is
focus of it.
oops. Let me see if I can find that scene.
That's the end one.
There we go.
There you
That's
go.
when he realized.
That look,
But
yes.
this is what I'm going to say about this. She says, "I told you to get it 2 weeks ago."
Yep.
Those freaking things would have been sold out 2 weeks before Christmas. So they would have been SOL anyway. Have you ever tried to find something that is like hot Cabbage Patch Kids, Tickle Me Elmo, any of those? If you didn't get them 2, 3 months before Christmas, really, but kind of right, if you don't get it kind of right when the uh, uh, fanfare hits, you're not going to get it. So
Nope.
when she said, "I told you to get it 2 weeks ago," I'm thinking, woman, they wouldn't have been there 2 weeks ago. That was another, that just was like silly. Um, that was just that's me just being, it's a movie. It's a movie.
There were moments you have to tell yourself that it's a
Yes,
movie.
I do. So then they'd have the Ted gets a reindeer for the kids, and he promises Jamie that he would not um, It's the holiday um, wintertainment parade. He says, "I won't miss it. I promise." Um, and and then Ted brings the reindeer because Ted is. We find out later, which we did know, but anyway, was
Hmm.
that he was divorced and that he was buying his kid pretty much with all this stuff.
Right.
So, and the reindeer does play a part later in the movie. Yes, get them when they're first mentioned. See, uh, uh,
I
so
mean, that's happened to us before. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
I cut it too close, and it's like,
but I never promised the kids anything. I
nope.
never promised them anything. So let's see. Here's. I was trying to find a good picture of the reindeer, but so the reindeer and a fact about the reindeer is if you look at the antlers. This isn't the best picture, but it has one. The antlers have that velvet on them. Let me put that up. Has the velvet on them, which at this time of year they would have already lost all that velvet.
Hmm.
So that was kind of a little boo boo that they had there. So yeah, so he is leaving to go search for the turbo doll, and then he meets Myron Larrabee, who is played by Sinbad. Let's see if we can find a picture of. And here he has met him. So he has met Myron Larrabee, and Sinbad was great in this movie.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if he liked doing it or not. I don't care. He was fantastic in it. He had amazing lines. So anyway, from this point on to the end of the movie, almost it's them searching for this damn action figure.
Hmm.
Um, and
Well, there was some question of whether Sinbad was going to be in the movie or not, and but then he finally got it, and
I think actually Joe Pesci was thought I think, to be this character.
yeah, but then they couldn't deal with the one of the problems was his height and Schwarzenegger's height.
Yes.
That well, that's a similar issue like with Robert Conrad in this. That originally the officer, of course, that was one thing that delayed him was the officer license and registration and putting through all the field sobriety. But with
Mhm.
Robert Conrad was that they wanted an officer presence that it would be believable, where
Yeah, and his really was.
that somebody could say to Schwarzenegger, "Get out of the car," and he would.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, 'cause, yeah. So, they have all this Christmas stuff going on here, and then we meet some characters along the way. We meet, yes, this famous line, Fallout Dave has started it, um, and I'm gonna read the whole thing. Fallout Dave put part of it. And he goes, they sit there and use subliminal messages to suck your children's minds out. And I know what I'm talking about because I went to junior college for a semester and I studied psychology, so I'm right in there. I know what's going on. They make the kids feel like garbage, and you, the father who's working 24/7 delivering mail so you can make an alimony payment to the woman that slept with everybody at the post office but me. And then when you get that toy, it breaks and you can't fix it because it's a little cheap plastic. So yes, that entire line was probably ad lib. I thought it was a wonderful line. Um, so those were some of the Sinbad lines. Um, they try to go different places to get the toy there,
Mhm.
um, and then they had the whole montage about the looking for the toys with as they set to different music that kind of was um, it was the opposite of what it should be. Um, Well, I
With the
don't.
whole mockery, it was so funny. Like you said, who would wait till 2 weeks, days before? They actually brought it in that first tour store when the workers started laughing. Then they looked at the lady customers. They all started. The whole store started laughing at them. Like, look at
Yes,
these geniuses. Day before Christmas, they're all looking for
yes.
2 million.
And
Oh, we
and,
have
and,
plenty of booster.
you saw the people were holding boosters to
Yeah.
take boosters home. I guess they already bought their turbo mans earlier, so they have the whole toy search. Um,
Yes, Fallout Dave. I was just thinking that. Where's your Christmas spirit?
exactly, exactly. That's what I felt about this whole movie. Um, it just was mean spirited the whole time. I felt, but and then the next scene that I thought was the classic was the cookie scene. So I'm just going to put this up here and I'll make them bigger as we go. So we have Smarmy Phil Hartman, you know, over there telling her to take a shower and just touching her and
Okay,
just
that's even creepy for me. I mean, it's like
just just being
that's
so and oh that just makes my skin crawl. So yes, there he is, just being schmarmy, and he takes the whoops, he takes come on, is it gonna show? Yeah, he takes her apron off, which I just think is kind of creepy, puts it on, and then he says, the thing is that, he says how to bake the cookies, but then she's like actually impressed there. It's like, don't encourage them. Stop it. Number one, why are you going to take a shower with this creepy man in your house? I don't care if the kids are there. You don't have to take a shower. Just stop it. Just stop it. I just,
But you know what's so funny? It shows you how deviant he was with it, because he ended up touching the pan or the cookie when they're still so hot, and the kids were making noise. He turned around and screamed, "At pipe down in there, you
yeah, there
kids!"
he kind of showed his true self there.
Exactly.
You're right. You are
Yeah.
absolutely right there.
But I will say I did love the line when soon right after that, like you said, the call comes in, and he's like, "Hey Howard, oh your wife's upstairs." Put
Wait, wait,
loose on
wait,
the
wait,
phone.
wait. There's this one. There's him talking. And
Yeah.
wait, let me see. I think I got this. I can actually quote it. Um, says hello, and he goes, "Can I talk to my wife?" And he goes, "I think she's in the shower, Howard. Do you want me to check?" And what does
Yes.
Howard say? There he is, and he's going, no, these cookies are so, and he's like he's having an orgasm while he's eating these cookies. It was like so, so creepy. And then, and Howard is like, no, no.
Put
And,
that cookie down
and,
now.
well, let me see, let me go back up. So, yep. So he gets all, and then he goes, oh, these cookies are so good. Oh, he's just like, oh my God. Oh, I need it.
He's
Oh, Liz,
moaning.
these
Yes.
cookies are delicious. And he's like, cookies? Who told you you could eat my cookies? Put that cookie down now.
I love it.
And so there's kind of him having yelled to put the cookies down. He's a
Yeah, and
little
it
pissed
startled
off.
everybody next to him on the
Yes,
payphones. You know.
it should. He was
Yeah.
kind of screaming. So that was a scene. And I'm going to, if we have a favorite scene as we talk about, but this cookie scene was one of my favorite scenes, even with Smarmy Ted in it. Yes, he is not smooth enough to handle hot cookies. Um, so we have there's that, and then what happens next? So they find out about a store, and we had earlier actually. I did not. I should have looked at him earlier. We were introduced to. Let me see if we can find it. A character that I like the best. Let me go here real quick. Probably about here. Um, when he's rushing home, who do we meet? We meet Robert Conrad's character, police officer is what I will call him. And I just love him in this. I love every line that he said. Um, and he just to me was that I it's Christmas Eve. I fucking have to be out here. You're being a dork. I am ticked off that you drove down the side of the road. Yeah, I'm not going to be nice. You know, and
Hmm.
I just loved his character. I think Robert Conrad was perfect for this. And I think the fact that he was not at tall was perfect.
Hmm.
Um, perfect for that. I think it added so much to the character because it's like, I don't give a crap how tall you are. You
Well,
know.
well, speak about that with him in his role. Originally, Officer Hummel, the character here, was supposed to be a female, like I said earlier. Uh, Basically, what happened in here, he got this role. Um, when the script was first written, it was a woman, but then, according to the Associated Press, Conrad said producers gave him the part because, quote, they wanted someone who could pull up to next to Arnold and tell him to pull over, and he pulls over.
Yeah.
So that was a specific design character uh, selection, actor selection for the role there.
Yeah, because a lot of times you would not see that. And then they find one other place to go see the store. They rush to get there, and then they knock over a police motorcycle. And whose motorcycle do you think it is? Yes, Officer Hummel.
Yep.
Uh, and I love the line he said was um, where is it? Um,
Was this?
oh,
I
he
think I
goes,
know the line.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, you broke my little mirror. License and registration, please.
Yep.
I love that. I mean, it's just you can see him. He so is you
Yeah.
again.
Yes.
You broke. Yes, Fallout Davy. You broke my little mirror. I
And
love
then,
that.
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just sorry. I love that line. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that because this precedes the next scene where they end to go to the Mall of America with the
Yes.
big mall, and the next attempt chaos crowd control. It
Yes.
was what a riotous scene. I'll let you
Yes.
go ahead further into it.
This where they find out there are some tuber. I can't say that.
I love
I
the
want to say
Mr. Mike thing though.
turbo
And
dolls, and he uses the little Mister microphone
yes,
to
and he's
talk.
indignant.
And he's such a and this store manager, oh, oh, oh,
And then, and consistent with the laws of supply and demand, the list value has just doubled.
doubled $300. So yes, I love that. And then they have the little lottery balls. And of course, yeah, let's have everybody. Okay, this is another thing. Let's have the guys with the balls standing right there. Let's not have any control or anything. No, let's just have them stand there so they can get um, yeah, and yes, he got two. He got two. That is after they pummeled the people. Let's get over here and look at some of these slots.
Yeah.
So they rush the poor little employees who probably aren't even getting paid minimum wage, and so they throw the balls up in the air, and everyone is fighting to get them. And Marlon
Myron.
Myron gets a ball, and then of course he yells, "He got two! He got two!" And so they're all chasing him. And then the one ball that Howard has bounces around to the song from the Nutcracker, which I thought that scene was brilliant.
Mm.
Um, was it?
Oh yeah, it
No,
was.
it was to a classical music at this
Yeah,
point.
what happened was when they threw the balls up in the air, it's the
It
most wonderful
started off
time of the
with
year. It started with that when they threw the chaos and they
yes,
threw the balls in the air. Then
and
the
when they were
chase
all
went. Yep,
fighting, and then when the one ball bounced away and
yep.
he's chasing it and everything.
And I was telling you
Um,
about the physics of that scene.
Yes, I
That
just
thing was picking up momentum as it kept
yes,
going.
it just was so. And then this little girl right here gets the ball, um, and yeah, and apparently keeps a hold of it pretty much all of the time. And he ends up in the um the ball thing. And this look here,
After
yeah,
he crawled
he
through the whole
doesn't
ball,
look creepy. I am not a pervert. Yes, you are. You are. You tackled a little girl for a stupid ball.
and he crawled through the whole jungle gym thing. I mean,
Yes,
it was just going to ball pit. He climbed over
yes.
kids, through kids, and everything getting there.
But I just
Here, kid,
love this.
I got a little ball for you. Nice shiny ball. Those women went all hog wild
They
on him with those
should have,
purses.
man. They should have. He was a pervert. He was very creepy, and then he
I'm not
like
a pervert.
well, then he dives for the girl. It's not that he
Yes.
just says, "Oh, here, let's trade balls." Then he like says, "The heck with it," and goes to tackle her. It was like, oh my gosh! So he doesn't get the ball, and then he meets Santa Claus, and this was another scene that I really liked.
Th-
To get the toys. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Grabs kid, tosses him. I really like the casting on this one. See, in spite of the weak points of some of the movies and the things where you can look back and like this may be mean or whatever else, there had some great casting in this movie. I
I
think
agree with you.
James Belushi here was awesome as the
Oh yes,
Santa because we focus
yes.
on Arnold. Arnold was okay, but we focus like on Sinbad in that role. But like Robert Conrad, James Belushi right here, the small guy also is a big
Oh, which I
well-known
do not
actor.
remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
Tony
I'll
the
look it
Elf
up.
was his character.
Okay, but yeah, he was a character or the actor.
Was the character. I don't. Yeah, that
Okay,
was the name of.
I'll look up the actor's name, but it was really well, really well cast and all these the backup roles and stuff, the supporting roles. So
I with you, and they were the black market Santas from the
Miss
midget to the giant. Yes,
Tony the Elf, Danny Woodburn.
yes,
Danny Woodburn was Tony the Elf.
wonderful, wonderful in that. And here is Tony the Elf right here with the picture of the Turbo Man. So they go to and they get to go. They're going to find the black where the Turbo Man is, like it's in hostage. Um, and they go and there is a secret knock for them to. Whoops, sorry about that. And it's like I'm surprised they didn't blindfold them where they were
Yeah,
going. And so here we go. We have a secret knock, whatever the knock was, and then password, jingle bells, Batman smells. And then they let him in. And while they're in there, we have there we go. We have the entire workshop. This is Santa's workshop. I don't know what people are having problems with. The Santa's Union, they're them doing all their work. They're filling a demand, as they say. And why shouldn't they make a little cash while they're filling that demand, right? And Howard says at one point, I got to tell you, Santa, there's something about this place that doesn't seem quite kosher. And then the mall Santa goes, kosher? This coming from a guy who assaulted a toddler for a Super Bowl? I love that line. So a lot
yeah.
of stuff happens, and then they get into a big fight because what happened to the Turbo Man, Dad Man?
It just spoken Spanish,
It,
Espanol, and then it fell apart out of the box.
it's fun and
Yeah.
educational, said the mall
Yes.
Santa.
Yes.
And I love the fight scene with the candy canes, with all that. And then we had the one scene where the um, let's see, let me find it here. These are all different scenes here. We have the one scene where the giant Santa comes out. Here's a giant Santa. And then he comes, and then we have the
Oh yeah.
little guy. Where is a picture of the?
Yeah. Oh God, I love that
And then we
scene.
have the little guy here that
Yeah.
jumped onto Howard's head, and the giant goes to punch him, and um, he ends up punching. I'm trying to find. He ends up
Yes.
punching, and there goes the little man flying across the room.
I love it. I'm sorry.
And I just,
That was,
out
and
of
you heard wee or whatever it was. It's like,
that
oh,
was, I just thought that was the funniest scene ever. And that, so I thought that was
oh,
funny.
oh my gosh.
And then after the
You
fight,
know, it's so bad that the funniest scene like that is some poor little guy. I mean, but he was getting active in the fight. But I think it was because you heard that wee with the little
yes.
guy just flying back. It was like, oh my gosh, another physics lesson.
And then we're cutting in between this. Um, oh wait, no, and then the police arrive, and I love what Tony the elf yells. It's the Grinch! Scatter! Yes, and the scream does sell it, Fallout Dave. Um, I agree with you. And Simply Steve says, well, watch out for flying Santas.
Yes.
Absolutely. So the police come, and then Howard pretends to be a police officer to get out of there. And
Hmm. But he grabbed a fake badge though
yeah,
from the toy pit.
he grabbed the fake badge to do all that stuff. And then on the way home, his car breaks down. He
Mrs.,
ends
you're
up
having a
at
problem with your mic at times. I don't know what it
really.
is. It's like crackling at times.
Let me try. Let me leave and then come back
All
and
right.
with a different mic.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me go ahead. I'll just entertain everybody for a minute. Hey,
Yeah,
folks.
I don't think I can. I have to leave. I'll be right back, everybody.
All right. But hey, thanks for being here. We still got 10 people watching, 8 on Twitch, on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Help get Mrs. to 500. Share out the stream. Share your neighbors, dogs, and everybody else. Bring them all in. Let's have fun. Help the support Mrs. and grow. 2 over on Twitch. Make sure you follow us over there. Thank you. You can also still subscribe to the Mrs. on Twitch to help support her. Which also, if you would like to support the Mrs., especially this time of the year, she is on Ko-Fi. She has a Ko-Fi link where you can actually do a one-time monthly donation, whatever, to help her continue to bring out amazing content, especially with all the time and stuff she spends in bringing this to you.
I'm back. Does it sound better?
Yes, I think at least it's not crackly.
I think what happens is that the battery starts dying on those.
Right. The other sounds better, but it started crackling more as things happen. So
okay, so where we're at? Okay, he is driving home. His car breaks down. He stops at a diner, and then we get the cut scene to here where we have the whole neighborhood petting the reindeer and everybody being so happy. And Jamie and Johnny. Jamie is Howard's son, and Johnny is Ted's son. And Johnny goes, "Your dad is so cool. I wish my dad did stuff like this." And Johnny goes, "Oh, he never used to, not till he and my mom split up." Really?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe your parents should get a divorce. Did wonders for my dad. It's like, oh my gosh. And we find out that what is the name of the reindeer?
Ted.
Yes, Johnny called him Ted after his dad. That's very important because Jamie goes home, is upset. His dad calls, and he gets mad, asks where his mom is, and basically he says, let me get the line. He goes, "Jamie, let me talk to your mother." And Jamie says, "She's next door petting Ted." And of course, Howard gets a little upset over that. So, yeah, a little misunderstanding there. And they yell at each other and all that stuff. So now he goes to the bar, and to me, this is a sad commentary on what I think this pretty much is the message of the movie
Yeah.
coming here right
Yeah.
now.
What's interesting, they put that there with the diner there, and we didn't even see Sinbad in there. That's what's so funny. We didn't even see him when Howard was on the payphone in the corner, which is a second appearance of a payphone in this movie. Uh,
Yes,
but then we hear, and then he brings over the little liquid additive to the coffee, and we have
yes,
a Mel Bonding moment for a couple minutes.
yes. Let me look. Let me check here real quick. Yes, and some of the stuff that was said, this says we get 1 day a year to prove we're not screw ups, and what do? We screw it up.
Yep.
And then this one, and this to me, I think is like the message of the movie, which is a kind of sucky message, but really think it is. And they, start talking to each other, and they talk about. Sinbad talks about a present that he wanted when he was a kid, and how he didn't get it, and that because he didn't get he's the man he is today. And he goes, "You get that Turbo Man, you'll be a billionaire. You don't get it, you'll be a loser." So,
Yeah.
how sad is that? For you know a commentary on life. You don't get what you want, you're just going to be a friggin' loser. And I just think that's kind of sad.
Yep.
But then, okay, we have this little sad moment here, and then we hear that there is another um, doll at the radio station. They fight once again to go to the doll. They get there, realize the doll's not there, um, and then they call the police. So now Sinbad pretends that he has a bomb. Correct?
And we got Martin Mull.
And there was Martin Mull was the radio host with the pigtail. So, yep,
Crying, whimpering there.
yes. And the police come. Let's see if we can find out where the police are. So they're running away. They get caught. And then Sinbad, at one point, he says, what does he say? He says, "I'm crazy." What does he say? He goes, "I work for the post office, so you know I'm not stable. Tell him." And then Howard says, "This man is totally insane." And
Yes.
Myron says, "Thank you."
You know what was cool too? Howard, was going to snip down the stairs because the cops came up the elevators. He ran right into Robert Conrad, Officer
Yes,
Hummel, right there.
yes,
And what you said towards the end of that, what did Sinbad say to? Because Hummel wasn't going to put the gun down even after he said he was crazy. What did Sinbad say to him?
Oh, I can't remember.
He said, "You too, Barnaby Jones."
Oh, that's right. Yes, you
I
too,
love
Barnaby
that.
Jones.
I love that. Barnaby Jones. I'm like, where the hell?
And then
That's right.
poor Robert Conrad said he was in the bomb squad for 10 years and there
Yeah.
wasn't a bomb. And what happens? Kaboom! There was a bomb.
There's some
And
sick people in this world.
yes. Uh, so all that gets done. He doesn't have anything he wants. The holiday parade starts. Oh no! Oh no! 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 He goes home and then he sees
Oh
Ted.
yes. Yes.
Ted putting the
This.
star on top of the Christmas tree, and
Yep.
he is friggin' pissed off. And then this is another one of the
Right
scenes.
here with Simply Steve. We're coming up on this one.
Yes. So he decides, screw him. I'm going to get that Turbo Man that is underneath his tree. He does that. He gets out of the house and then he has second thoughts because he realizes that he is stealing from a child. So he goes to return it, but then we have the attack of the reindeer. And the reindeer goes after him and starts setting the house on fire
Yeah,
pretty
he
much.
crashed into Balthazar.
He crashed into Balthazar.
Balthazar!
Balthazar's head falls into the fireplace, and the house starts catching on fire. And there's his look. Oh shit!
Yeah, he trapped the reindeer in one of the side rooms, so.
So the choir is singing outside. La 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 la
Oh,
la.
bring us some figgy pudding. I cannot think of figgy pudding without this damn scene, or I cannot see the scene without thinking figgy pudding. I
And
don't know
then
what the hell figgy pudding is, but it was like I could see that big tall
it's a
guy
fig pudding.
singing
And then he kicks out
in this.
Balthazar out the window, and then
They flee in terror.
oh wait, where are they? Where is it? Poor Balthazar. And then Ted is very sad about Balthazar, and they realize that Ted has attempted to steal the present. He is misunderstood. Howard, I'm sorry, Howard. And then Liz gets mad and then rides with Ted to the Winterfest with the kids.
Well, I did think it was interesting too because they came in and how Liz was like, "I'm tired of your lies. I don't know what your version of the truth is, and I'm done."
tired of hearing your version of the truth.
And she said, "Ted, would you drive me, my son, and me to the fest?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Absolutely." So she storms out. He looks back. He turns back, looks at you. Can't bench press your way out of this one.
Yes.
Walks off. So. And then they go off, and then we see Howard commiserating with Ted the reindeer in the back, drinking beer together.
Yes, and they have some beer together, and they get drunk. And then
poor Balthazar.
Oh, that's where he punched the deer, I think.
Oh yeah, after they left the house, yeah.
So all this stuff, and then he gets the reindeer drunk, and then it's the parade, and lots of the parade, and then Howard decides to go to the parade and not and keep his promise to his son. He sees the boys go to stand with a friend. Anyway, parade. He gets there. He sees Howard being inappropriate. Ted being inappropriate to Liz. But he has to run away. He has to run away before that because he spilled hot coffee on Officer Hummel again. And so he's being chased again. Does not see that Liz decks him, I guess, finally.
By the way, Kimberly Ann Hart's here. Hello, Kimberly Ann Hart.
Hey,
welcome.
Kimberly Ann Hart. How are you?
See you. Sorry.
That's okay. No. So he runs away. I'm trying to just you see some of these. He hides. They mistake him thinking he's Turbo Man. So they put him in the suit. And we have Booster, the chain-smoking Booster, who played by Curtis Armstrong. Perfect for the role. So he gets in the turbo suit. He gets onto the.
Do you have that quote? Do you have that quote that the producer told him though about? It's a shame what happened to the guy.
Wait. Yes, I do. He goes, it was a total freak accident that happened at rehearsal. And doctors say he shows some brain activity. He's showed some brain activity this morning. That's a really good sign.
He did thumbs up.
And they did leave in a line, which I am surprised that they didn't take out, that Curtis Armstrong said about the heat, because this was actually filmed in 100-degree weather.
Yes.
And the line that they kept in, which I am really surprised that they left in, was he said, as Booster, "Let's get moving here. I've been sweating like a dog in a Chinese restaurant."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they kept that line in, but they did.
But that's what like you said, because it's portrayed as being like Minnesota, Twin Cities, things like that in the winter. But it was actually filmed in like May.
The parade part was
May in Universal Studios in California. The parade part.
Yes. And then he looks up and goes, Howard says, "I know who you are. You're Booster." And he goes, "And who the hell do you think you are, Mary Poppins?" So yeah. So anyway, they go and they do the parade, and they get on there, and then the foreshadowing that we saw at the beginning. Oh, these anchors were so typical. I worked at a TV station.
Oh
They are
yes.
not far from the truth of how they are acting. I'm just saying. So we have Howard. He's on this there. Finds out that he has a doll that he can give away. He gives the doll to Jamie. Oh, exciting. Jamie just climbs onto the set. There's nobody there to help him. No security, no nothing. Yeah,
And
really. I don't care if it's Minnesota.
What's really cool though is that because they were telling him, you got to pick a kid, because he's off the script, and he's like looks and he's like pointing, and he says, Jamie, and
Yes.
and Johnny's like stunned, mouth drop. Jamie's like, he knows my name.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, that happened one time. I was somewhere, and I said hello to. It was like a meet and greet thing or something. I said hello to somebody, and they go hello, and they said my name, and I'm like thinking to myself, oh my gosh, how did they know my name? I was like really, just overwhelmed. I said, I can't believe how they knew my name. I was wearing a name tag.
Yeah.
So, but they give the toy to Jamie. Then Sinbad, I want to say Milo, what the hell is his name again? Myron. I want to put the R first. Myron.
Yep.
Becomes the mentor, and then he does things that are really bad to the kid. Now I've got to say, give him the damn toy, but he ends up running away, climbing up a roof, and let's see, and he ends up climbing up this. Yeah, a toy is not worth that, kid. That's a little crazy to me. So he runs up, almost dies. Turbo Man saves him, and then he tells him that I am really your dad. Yep. And see, he shows himself. I'm your dad. And then he's like, oh, that's so cool. My dad is Turbo Man. He all lucked out in that. Just lucked out.
What I love with it too is like he's who better? He tells him your dad loves you very much. You're his favorite person in the world. The kid actually is like, how do you know that? It's like, who else knows than it's me? And he's like, Dad, and then Liz is like, Howard,
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, he just lied again. Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's like,
and I would have beat that child for what he did.
Yeah.
You didn't die up there, but you're going to get a butt whooping. You're certainly not going to get the damn turbo doll.
Oh, ma'am, just relax.
No.
It's part of the act. It's all part of the show.
Yes, that's my son. He's wonderful. He's not part of the show.
Yes, exactly, Steve.
Yes, she had a little bit. Yes, ooh, put a man in a uniform or a superhero costume, and I guess it just makes the women happy. And and he said that you told him I'm Turbo Man and all that, and I'm thinking, yeah, wait until Jamie finds out that his dad is not the real Turbo Man, and that his dad has lied to him once again.
Oh, but he played that role in just this situation. So he is Turbo Man. I think maybe part of it is he perceived that his dad was being elusive and not there because he was part of this parade. But, you never know. Yeah, Stunning said women love men in suits.
Yes. And then, of course, Jamie becomes a good kid and gives the Turbo Man to Myron. Because he has the real Turbo Man. Just wait until he finds out that his dad is not the real Turbo Man, and he gave away that limited edition gold Turbo Man to a man that tried to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. A mother would say, but hopefully you learned a lesson from this. I don't
Yes.
know with these people,
This
but
yeah,
yes,
this is why this movie drove
yeah,
me
yeah,
absolutely
it did.
crazy.
You know,
Um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go
No,
ahead.
this came to mind too. When about it, go ahead and show him again, or if Myron as Dementor, because see right there, I think that was the message they try to convey is he, decided his love was his dad, not the toy, so that he could help somebody else have a joy
Oh,
with their situation with their kid. But I loved the parade, like you talked about the anchors. Yes, we have seen the backside. Yeah, they move in conjunction and breathe
yes.
and stuff. But I love when he dropped onto the float. Myron did. He's looking around. Everybody's boo, 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 and he's like jacking his arm out, flipping everybody off. And the two anchors looked at each other and covered them like, that's not in the script.
And they did do good. They did, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, but
Mm.
and then we have the end credits, and let's see if we can get past these end credits here,
Oh yeah.
because then we have one final scene,
Yeah.
which starts right here. We'll go to the last one. And she is, they're all, oh, and he puts the star on the tree. And they're all happy. And look, there's all happy family. Yay, they're cheering. Even though dad's a pathological liar.
You're,
And then
you're so hard on them. Wait till we talk about
she
that.
goes, her final line is,
She looks happy. Gee, Manetti's.
goes,
She hadn't
everything.
smiled that much the whole movie.
No, and then the final line in the movie is everything you went through today for Jamie really shows how much you love him. And if it means going through all that just for a present, well that makes me wonder. And Howard says, "What? What did you get me?" And then it fades to black. I think that was kind of supposed to be a sequel.
Yes,
So,
yes, there
uh,
actually is something I read about that.
but so that's the movie. I kind of gave some of my opinions throughout the movie. Um, yes, the movie ends there because Howard dies. It's like, shit, I am in so
Yes,
much trouble.
yes. All right. Well, do you mind if I
So
share
that's
a
it.
few things real quick from this? Uh,
Absolutely.
the
Let me go
thing
ahead
is,
and
by the way, you have another sub tonight, another new sub
oh,
for 280.
thank you. Thank you so much. If someone here um, subbed, I appreciate it. Let me know because I don't get the notifications all the time of who subbed.
One of the things, like you said, that ending scene with Liz with you know,
Hmm.
like what's for me. We get that look. He turns, looks at the camera the same way he did about the
Yes.
toy. Basically, with ScreenRant.com, with the source, there's 10 things about Jingle All the Way. People don't know about. The post credit setup was actually to set up a sequel.
Hmm.
That they it's nothing's really known about the sequel, but they
Here's the
instead.
sequel right here.
Ah!
Yeah, yes, Timberman 2, The Search for Replacement Man. That's
Love
perfect.
it. Uh, but basically, instead of getting a real sequel with the original cast coming back, a belated sequel starring Larry the Cable Guy came out in 2014 and went straight to video.
Yeah,
But it had no connection to the original, so Sinbad had said it won't work. And
right.
it didn't. Obviously, Larry Cable Guy, it's not the
It's,
same. But this to me, I
his
love this
mother
movie.
needs to be to shop at Victoria's Secret.
Yes. Well, you
Yes,
know how much I love this movie, and I have. I got the kids watching it
yes,
all the time, and I
yes.
like just sit down and
But
watch them all.
one more real quick here, and then we can talk about it. Sonny says, "I got you a cookie now."
There you go. Ha!
Okay, so let's continue what you're doing. Let's go ahead and we'll talk a little bit about how you feel about the movie, some of your favorite scenes, your favorite lines, your favorite characters, and all that.
Oh boy! Well, it's like I said, it was always a favorite of mine. I like to have us watch as a family every Christmas, and it just was one of those. Thank you. There's a cookie out in the chat. Uh, but it was a great favorite of mine, and just because it was dumb, stupid, you turn your brain off, type movie. Just to take it for a movie, it was silly. It had some great lines. Put that cookie down now. It's turbo time. Different types of lines in this, like when she whacked Ted with the mug and all, and he's all messed over with coffee or whatever. And his kid said when he came up, "Hey, Jamie's dad is Turbo Man. Let's get out of here, Dad. You smell like barf." Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, um, Things like "Shut Up," the "Flip Off," the "YouTube Barnaby Jones." I mean, it had great
Mhm.
callbacks to other things, and it just was a silly movie with a lot of good, stupid lines and stuff like that. The radio station was a great movie scene for me because
Mhm.
we had Mark Mull making this as a hippie. I can't remember all the lines. Sinbad said, "Oh, you hippie!" He used the hippie word, and you're over there laughing at me, aren't you? No, yeah, you are. You're laughing. Everybody laughs at my safari hat or whatever hat. And
Oh, yes, yes.
yeah,
When they, oh gosh, what was that line? I think I wrote that one down. That one was funny.
yeah. Yeah, but the whole thing, of course, the radio station scene included the bomb and the package, which was so funny. We actually had one package he threatened that didn't go off, and the second one did go off with that. While you're looking for that quote, Balthazar, that did it for me.
Hmm.
That whole bring us some figgy pudding, bring us that whole scene. I will never look at that song figgy pudding or the Three Wise Men ever the same again. You could play that scene for me on a loop and I'm happy. I could visualize that tall long haired guy in the back and they're all singing and running for terror in their life. uh that was a great. I just laughing and Balthazar's head going flying through the window on fire. The parade fight was a great scene. I liked the parade fight, especially when he landed, like I said, about Dementor landed on the float and started flipping the audience off. Uh, then the demon team comes out getting mad at Howard because they're like, "You're off the script, you're off the script," and never mind, Dementor threw the script off too. It just was all over the place. Yes.
I'm sorry.
No.
Go
What's up?
ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Those are some of the great scenes that I remember and that I've written down a note. Details like when she asked him, "Do you have a doll?" Howard's wearing a 1996 Atlanta Olympic shirt. This movie was written and was released in 1996. So
Oh.
yes, exactly. So and I talked about the shot with Islet. The what? It's almost like the Macaulay Culkin Home Alone thing with that
Mhm.
slap in the face, but with the open eyeballs.
Right.
God, that damn line about Sinbad. She slept with everyone at the post office but me.
Yes.
And there, Kimberly Ann Hart. This is a sick nation we've been living in.
Yes.
I was like, this is sick people. I mean, it was like after he just had.
I think so. I think so.
Oh,
With that, absolutely.
oh, and then of course the thing. I mean, you got Booster Booger in that was wonderful in that
Oh,
little
yes.
role, and I mean, but like you said, it's this. I just it's this time I watched it. I did look a little more critically at uh like you were doing, and it's kind of like something stuck with me. Like that's not. Is that really a good message? Or I don't think the point was a message. I think the point was laughs, and that's where it
Well,
really
the
worked with the
actually,
laughs.
actually, the person who wrote it, then I think, what does it say? Let me find it because what this says, um, that Randy Corfield originally wrote it, but then producer Chris Columbus rewrote the script, adding in elements of satire about the commercialization of Christmas. So, yes, it was supposed to be somewhat about the commercialization, but they never really condemned the commercialization of it. They just kind of, I mean, at the end, it was okay. Howard gets off scot free. You know, it just was the whole thing. Instead of him saying, I'm sorry, I screwed up, hate me, whatever, but I didn't get your damn doll, he just ended up doing all this other stuff.
Well, well, let me finish with. Let me go for a couple more things on this article.
Okay.
As we think about other thoughts, and I know people in the chat share your memories and thoughts again as we go
You
through
guys
this.
think about
Yeah,
how you would rate this
yeah.
movie. You can rate it any way you want, but
One of the things that they said this article, like I said, is from Screen Rant. Let's titled as 20 wild details behind making a Jingle All the Way.
okay.
One is that Sinbad almost quit acting over the role.
Huh. I
That
could see.
basically Schwarzenegger wanted it. Well, it may not be a bad what you think. Schwarzenegger's agent wanted him in this role, so they did, but he missed the audition
Uh,
because he had an engagement overseas for a USO tour. So they waited. Chris Columbus waited for Sinbad to return for the audition. But in an interview, Sinbad said he thought he messed up the audition. He informed his brother, who was also his manager, that he was done with show business. So he thought he messed this interview up, so he was
wow.
going to quit show business. Patient won out as Sinbad ultimately received the part and helped bring out some of Arnold's best quotes. And I think that's the thing is the chemistry. The
Yes,
chemistry between the two it says so much. Go ahead.
and it was like I said, a lot of it was they ad lib. They played off each other. I think they just kind of let Sinbad go, and and just told Arnold, "Hey, just go with the flow," and then they edited it to what was said because those
Mhm.
lines were just fantastic.
And they
Um,
flowed. They just
yeah,
flowed. And he's a comic genius, you know.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think he is.
Yeah, but see that's dangerous also. That's a high reward, high risk situation. Like people have talked about I'm sorry, I'm going to mention it, Mrs. Ghostbusters 2016.
Okay,
That,
there I'm going to
that
stop you right there because
okay,
there's a difference. There was a script that was on Jingle All the Way. They
right,
really didn't have a script for Ghostbusters. They just said ad lib.
right.
They
That's
had they
yeah.
had a basis. They had a thing which I feel frees up an actor to ad lib, and then you can get some good lines. You just can't say, "Hey, go for it," and that just doesn't work. So
You
I am
can't
going
you can't squirrel stream a movie like that.
no,
Now the original
no.
Ghostbusters had some ad libbing, but it was that type of thing though where
But they
they
had
had
the
that central
script.
script. Yes, they had.
Ad-libbing is in every movie and every TV show. It is there. It's there. Um, but they a lot of them end up on the cutting room floor, but
Mhm.
some of them don't. Um, but not ad-libbing happens. It occurs. Good actors can ad-lib.
Mhm.
Um, but you've got to have a framework
Right.
to allow that to happen.
Exactly.
So, ad-libbing is going to be in every movie except Ghostbusters, which had no framework and then it just kind of sucked.
Yep. Another element was Turbo Man's costume was watery because we talked about many of the of his scenes, the flying scenes were in non-winter locations. It became hot in the suit, so they created a special vest worn by Daniel Reardon, who's known for voicing characters in over 25 video games and several animated movies. Uh, well, of course, except at the end, then when it's Schwarzenegger in the suit and don the costume. The type of vest also used by race car drivers to stay cool. It had special tubing that ran cold water in and around the vest so the user wouldn't overheat. So, but it was only on the torso, so too much
Mhm.
for the heat in the legs. So, legal. Apparently, this movie had different
Yes.
legal troubles,
Mhm.
including a suit about it be copyright infringement, I guess, which was then overturned on appeal
Mhm.
for various other legal reasons. We mentioned Officer Hummel. I want to say Hummus. Hummel was also originally supposed to be a female officer. As you alluded to earlier, the Wintertainment Parade was filmed in 100-degree weather. Yes.
Mhm.
So because Minneapolis, St. Paul have long winters. The Twin Cities were a great location to film Jingle All the Way. But since the movie took place during the Christmas season, however, the Wintertainment Parade was done at Universal Studios in Los Angeles when spring was transitioning into summer, and it made for 100-degree days around that time when they did the Wintertainment Parade. And it took them 3 weeks to do the Wintertainment Parade.
That's
So
crazy.
I'll talk about that a little bit more. Another thing is, let's see. Oh my gosh, as luck would have it, these hot days were also the days Sinbad had to wear his Dementor costume.
Uh,
Plus the post office. Remember, they're all wearing winter
the whole thing they're
outfits.
wearing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Schwarzenegger almost did not take the role. Yeah, there's a moment in casting he almost didn't star as Howard Langston. He signed with 20th Century Fox to star in Planet of the Apes remake. Wow. Production company didn't like any of the scripts, even the one Chris Columbus wrote. So Columbus decided to leave the Apes project. So Schwarzenegger left at the same time. That made him available to be cast in Jingle All the Way in February 1996. Let's see. Turbo Man was really sold in stores.
Yes, it was. It was a very, very limited um, production line because they only had 6 months to market it, not the full
Mm-hmm.
year because the movie was filmed like in 6 months. So, yes, it was very, very limited, the production that they had. You are correct.
Besides the Turbo Man real life doll, Dementor almost had her life on the retail shelves. Uh, a prototype was designed and manufactured. It was tested and researched, had high marks from users, but they never released them.
Now to have
No,
one of those Turbo Man
yeah.
dolls now probably would
Well,
be worth something.
Sinbad said that there was a prototype, and you get a real one when it comes out. He was told, but he's like, it never came out, and he had his theory was that I think they didn't want competition between Turbo Man and my doll.
Probably.
We talked about Reardon earlier, the guy that played Turbo Man. He was afraid of heights,
Mm,
so apparently, so that came in to play here. Phil Hartman had a backstory for Ted.
mhm.
That Ted is a guy who sued his employer for headaches caused by toner fumes and now hangs around the neighborhood and helps all the housewives.
Mhm. Help and
Now,
air
yeah.
quotes.
Now, at the time, Hartman was being, quote, pigeonholed in Hollywood, but said that, quote, Ted's another weasel to add to my list of weasels.
Mhm.
So,
He played
um,
smarmy characters good.
and like towards pigeonholed. Another thing is that Schwarzenegger and Sinbad improvised like we talked about
Mhm.
throughout the movie. So, according to 80s Kids, Sinbad improvised a lot of the lines in Jingle All the Way, much of it left in the final version of the movie. What is maybe surprising is Schwarzenegger was good at improv. He made up lines in response to his co-stars. And like we talked about the dynamic between
Uh-huh.
the two actors
Yeah.
together. You got anything else on that? I'll go to the
No.
next point. Okay. Turbo Man's name was almost different.
What was it gonna be?
The
I
other
know what
names
it is. I know what it is. I'm asking you
other
though.
names include the Turbo, Turbo Guy, and the Turbo Guy. Even the name Turbo Tom was thrown out there,
Oh my gosh.
despite not knowing Turbo Man's identity, backstory, or alter ego. The final name, of course, is the best sounding one and the least cheesy.
Yeah, I think Turbo Man was a good choice.
Yeah. Another was that so it was a Sweltertainment Time parade, Steve. Yes. There's a, let's see.
Stunning Turdo Man.
That would have been better, probably.
Yes.
Columbus was inspired by his own personal journey of the toy search. According to Filmhouse magazine, Toy Story figures were popular a year before Jingle All the Way began filming.
Mhm.
Buzz Lightyear was one of the hottest toys that season. Columbus was hard pressed to find a Buzz Lightyear and went through some of the same trials as the parents of Jingle All the Way. So there's that connection. Let's see. Of course, like, as I said earlier, the Grand Parade scene took 3 weeks to shoot, and of course, it was shot in Los Angeles in the spring to summer transition. According to Axios, most of the production was shot in Minnesota. The parade had to shoot in LA in May because there was no major parade that would have fit the movie in the Twin Cities. In the movie, the parade was called the Wintertainment Parade. A New York street, as we said, at Universal Studios, if you've ever been there, you know what those are, was redesigned to mimic Second Avenue. Helicopters filmed the scene from above so the elements could be added into the matte shots of the real street. The entire scene took 3 weeks to do. About 1,500 extras were brought in to fill the street, and 3 specifically made floats were included in the parade. The marching band you see in this movie featured is the real UCLA marching band. Ukla no Ukla. Yes, exactly. And apparently on set, Phil Hartman made up songs to entertain the bored child actors.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah, there's a car scene that's taken all day. The 2 young actors started becoming restless.
Yep.
So he made up songs to entertain them. One song had lyrics that went, quote, "You make my butt shine. The more you kiss it, the more it shines. The clock is ticking, so keep on licking."
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
You know,
That's,
and I want to thank all 11 people that are watching right now over on the YouTube side. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks.
yeah. Apparently, Chris Columbus was a very big nitpicker in this, in the directing. And of course, you mentioned starring Joe Pesci.
And yes, he was creepy off camera as well, apparently.
Yeah.
And Sonny says, "My butt always shines." Yeah, because you're a Decepticon or something.
Yeah. Oh,
did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So apparently, Columbus was partial to Joe Pesci in the role. The idea was quickly dismissed because he's 5'4".
Right,
would
right.
look ridiculous next to the 6'2" Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I agree.
And the director, Brian Levin, is known for directing Flintstones, Are We There Yet? And Beethoven. A supervisor on Happy Days and the new Leave It to Beaver. And Jingle All the Way, he had triple duty. He was not only the director for the actual movie that starred Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, but he also took care of many of the M-movie TV shows and commercials. So he had to direct the footage for the commercials. Plus, he also had to direct commercials seen in Jingle All the Way.
Oh,
so the movie commercials. So,
poor
and then let's see. Basically, it was about Martin Mull. Martin Mull was told he only had 1 or 2 days. That he was told that only 1 or 2 days were needed to film his scene. He's got one scene in the movie.
Right. How long did it take?
The only caveat was his part in the film needed to be done on a rainy day. It didn't rain for almost weeks in Minneapolis. So Mull stayed on set the whole time.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And, of course, we talked about the and that's it. And that's from Screen Rant. Yep, Jingle All the Way.
Awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to say my favorite scenes. Okay, I'm just going to say this. Overall, I just had problems with this movie. Yes, it had funny moments. I'm not going to lie. You keep saying Martin Mull and Richard Mull. You keep mixing them up.
I know. Well, they're two different. Richard Mull started at the beginning in Dementor in the quote TV movie.
Are you sure he was?
Yes, Bull from Night Court.
Yes, he was. He played Dementor. You're right. He played Dementor at the beginning, and then Martin Mull, Richard Mull was the Dementor. Martin Mull was a KQRS DJ.
I have always gotten those two pronunciations wrong and intertwined.
Yes.
So yes.
Okay, so yes, I do agree that this movie did have some funny moments, but the overall message just annoyed me. Even though everything worked out at the end, it was only by dumb luck, and he still lied to his kid.
Mm.
He still, at the very end, he was still lying to his kid. He lied to his kid and he lied to his wife.
Yep.
And that just irks me. And I don't think anything's going to change in the future in this movie. I'm looking forward, and I think give it January 2nd, and he's going to be back at the mattress store saying, and don't forget, you're my number one client, and ignoring his family once again. But my favorite scenes in it was the entire Santa scene, especially the fight scene, the don't eat my cookie scene. And I liked kind of the bomb scene. And anytime Myron talked, I liked I liked that. But I just was not I just it just irks me. And I like I said before, I think the whole movie, the whole message of this movie that sums up is you better damn well buy your kid that toy, because if you don't, they're going to be a loser. If you get them the toy, they'll be a billionaire. If you don't, they're going to be a loser in life. And that's the way I feel about this movie. It just irks me. So are we ready to do our ratings?
Oh, there was one last quote that I forgot about.
Uh-huh.
The Santa fight scene when Big Dude comes out. I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
Yes, I'm going to deck your house. I loved how he used the candy cane. I love the fight scene. I love how it was choreographed to use the candy canes to hit him, and when he pulled the Jim Belushi's beard at the very beginning, and to kind of start the whole thing, and the dog pile.
Yeah.
I thought that was a hilarious scene. But
Absolutely.
overall, I mean, I did laugh in the movie. I didn't feel I wasted too much of my life.
No, but you've watched it for many years because of me. So
yes, but Dadman has made us watch it every Christmas. Yes.
I tried to. This year I had a good excuse, but hey,
So yes.
throw it in here,
So
please.
I thought this would be
Mr.
a good
Mrs.
one to
Ko-Fi,
start
so-
with.
All right.
Oh yes.
I just had to throw it in here really again because one time or multiple, buy her a cup of coffee. But thank you for your support for being here tonight. The little boy who Santa Claus forgot. Yeah. All right.
I'm just typing it so it will go over into the YouTube side.
Right. Okay.
There we go.
Cool. Right. There you go.
So, it's time for our ratings. Now, I'm going to put my rating on the YouTube side because I want to use emojis, and I can't do it through the StreamYard chat. So, are you ready to say what your
No, before starting, send her penny dollars for sitting through it another year.
Yes, please, please, please. Thank you, Stunning.
All right, so Steve, Steve rated. Do you want to show Steve's rating first?
Yes, we do have one rating already.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's do that. I guess let's start with the chat.
Got it started.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to go before you though, or do you want to go?
Yes, you can. You can. I'll go last. So we got Simply Steve here. It says 3 boosters out of 5 for the mixed messages, like trying to shoehorn Ted between the couple, having Howard do all kinds of bad, illegal things, but then no punishment. Exactly. I agree with you 100%, Steve. So is there anybody else that has would like to put their comments in about the movie? I think they've kind of been done throughout the stream, but you can do it do any way that you want. And to let you know, if you do want to watch this movie, we watched it on Prime, Amazon Prime. And Fallout Dave gives it a 9 for cynical accuracy.
I'm presuming 9 of 10, but
I'm assuming 9 of 10. Yes.
Yes.
So, yep.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and go. I give this a 4 out of 5 popcorn boxes because on my channel I use popcorn boxes. I love it. Well, listen, my criteria is
I'm sorry. I should have no judgment on your review. I'll be quiet.
I have I because a couple things. When I use popcorn boxes on my channel,
That's fine.
uh, and I will say 4 out of 5 because I think it was comic genius. I like slapstick humor. I like highbrow humor and intellectual humor too. But this is just a fun, stupid slapstick piece of crap movie. It reminds me of the way to judge it is based on the SpongeBob episode of Fine Dining and Breathing when he had to took everything out of his brain but breathing and fine dining. He excelled in all this other stuff. So that's kind of like with this movie. You just take all those expectations, all the real world stuff you said, throw them all out, and just focus on the movie. And then boom, it's comic gold. I love it. I love it. Even when there's cringe and creepy stuff, didn't matter. It's like boom, hey, let's have some fun and get away from your problems. And that's because this like last night we were talking. It's like I can see how getting critical on certain things, especially the bad life lessons and things like that. But I'm telling you, it's just a fun, good movie to just be stupid about, And it's a movie I can do that without, trying to be too serious. So that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. I give this
11-6.
movie 3 out of 10 Christmas trees.
What? I'm sorry. I'm not judging you. I'm not. Wow. I'm just a little
I
shocked so
I
low.
I I tell you, the only reason it got 3 is because I really like Sinbad's lines. I like the chemistry between them, and there were those few scenes, the cookie scene with Ted and Arnold Schwarzenegger, the uh, Santa, the entire Santa Mafia, um, from beginning to end of that. I thought that was hilarious. Um, and I liked Robert Conrad. I liked his character in there. But I hated the message. I hated the wife. She pissed me off, because I I feel that, yeah, Ted was smarmy. She knew Ted was smarmy, but she kept him around. And, maybe she did for her kids or whatever. But there's a point where you say, hell no, I don't want you around me or my kid. Sorry. But she led him on. I didn't like her, but then when she found out that her husband was Turbo Man, she got all hot and bothered, and and there were no consequences. You are right. Whoever said that there were absolutely no consequences for anything. Anything. I don't care when he turned around and Officer Hummel saw that it was Howard. It still is, well, sorry, Turbo Man, when you get out of your outfit, we're going to go talk. Maybe not do it there in front of the kids, but there was no consequences at all. And it just drove me insane. And the whole message of I felt was, get your kid this toy or whatever the flavor is of the month, and they'll be a success. But if you don't get it for them, they're going to be a loser. And
Hmm.
I just had problems with this movie. Now, will I watch it again next year? Yeah, probably because Dadman will want to watch it.
Woohoo!
Will we review it again next year? Hell no. No, no, no. But
Oh,
that is
come
my
on. Where's your spirit of adventure?
there is no. I will no. I will
Steve
watch this.
says you're preaching truth, though.
Yes, but I just that is kind of my feelings about this movie. There were some great lines in it. There were some great, comedy. I will say chasing that Super Ball down the mall with the Nutcracker music
I know. I've al- I've
was I
always loved the
loved it.
physics of that, though. The
But
physics, it
but
speeds up.
just the whole overall concept of the movie, I did not like it, and I do not. Um, yes, but that is a message. Get me my toy or else. LOL. And I wouldn't have had
Yeah.
a problem with Jamie being mad at his dad for not getting it because his dad screwed up. But there never was nobody learned any lessons.
Yeah.
Nobody learned any
Hey,
lessons.
there's Phantom Outsider. Hell, Phantom
Hey,
Outsider.
Phantom. I'm sorry. I read your
Yeah.
message, but yeah, I just
So, Phantom Outsider, do you have an opinion? Do you have a vote, or what do you think with this movie? Do
There's
you have a
so
rating?
there's
Anybody
so
else?
there are so many better movies. Oh, Stunning says 11D6 is
Yeah.
his rating. Whoops, sorry. 11D6.
Yep. I do not doubt that.
So there are other movies that are so much better. And there's some of them that we're going to watch later that are just so
Better.
much better um, than this.
I love you. I just like it's not that bad. It really isn't. But
That's
yeah,
okay. That's okay. Like I say, I'll probably have to watch it again next year with Dadman because this is his favorite movie. Um,
actually,
we have
actually,
debates.
it's a hard
We
call.
we have debates on. You guys. Everybody has the debates about. Whether Die Hard's a Christmas movie or not, or Nightmare Before Christmas, is it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie? We have had people debate us on whether Jingle All the Way is actually a Christmas movie. Even though it's set at Christmas time, does it truly exemplify the Christmas season? But then again, we're going to be reviewing Krampus. Would that not then be considered a Christmas movie? So what I consider it's a movie made at Christmas time. Does it exemplify the um, spirit of Christmas? No, but I don't think that means it's not a Christmas
Well, I
movie.
will tell you what, though. Honestly, that
And
you mentioned this is my favorite. I don't know. Home Alone 2 is very close.
okay,
I
well
have trouble picking.
this is one of his favorites. He makes us watch
We'll,
this.
we'll we'll see Home Alone 2 coming up later in the
Yes, I will
month.
talk about I will give our little promos at the
Yeah.
end here. And Phantom says it was a nice little Christmas romp. There were no consequences because of Christmas magic. It was fun, and despite the explosions, no one was hurt as it was cartoony violence. And it does
Yep.
exemplify the commercialism of Christmas. But there were no lessons ever learned in it. And
Yep.
I think that's the part that drives me crazy is that Howard lied to the very end of the movie. He lied, he lied, he lied, he lied, he lied, and he got away with it at the end. And I
Yep.
think, "Ugh,
Yeah, it's
sorry.
no, it's perfectly valid feeling. It's like I mean, at what point how could that conflict with the Christmas spirit, the Christmas meaning of Christmas, and everything
Well,
else? Is like basically cheating things and all this other stuff to get what you really want in the end,
yeah, see,
materialism.
I think that they really, really, the commercialism part of it, I think they did well. And I think it was an indictment on the commercialism of Christmas. And I don't have a problem with that part necessarily. I have a problem with the part that Howard lied. And he lied and he lied and he broke all these laws and there was never any consequences. And at the very end, he lied to Jamie at the very, very end when he said, "Yes, I am Turbo Man." And you're and with the implication that I am always Turbo Man because that's what Jamie thought.
Oh
So that
gosh, that we talked about that at the end of the
yes,
movie. Yeah.
yes. Well, he's Turbo Man. He's just going to give her a little turbo fun, I guess.
No, Simply Steve
Yes,
says, "Liar, liar, the first fib, a liar, liar prequel."
yes. That's really my big thing is that there were no consequences at all.
Hmm.
And the only one that got a consequence was Ted. And then I kind of felt a little sorry for Ted because she kind of let him on. She
Exactly.
never drew the lines. She kind of let him on, and then she finally did, and it just was like,
All unilaterally, unannounced. Everything's fine till
yep.
whatever. Yeah.
So, but anyway, so
Oh,
everybody,
I like that when Phantom said turbo love instead
yes,
of radar love. Radar
yeah,
love.
yes, he's going to give her his turbo stick. Oh yes, Simply Steve. That's a little scary there.
All right.
Well,
So what's
everybody, I
next,
thank you all.
Mrs.?
I'm just going to sit here and do a little bit of shameless
All
promotion if
right,
you don't
cool.
mind. So,
Yep.
everybody, thank you for being here. And remember that Monday through, oh, that's the wrong meme. I don't do that anymore. It's a Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. I do my morning musings with Mrs. Dadman Walking. And we do puzzles, birthday celebrations, memes, and this day and history. Tomorrow at 9 p.m., Dadman is going to do the Packers and Lions face off with Dadman, Renee L., and JT Kirk. And that's on Dadman Walking's channel, Dadman Walking 55.
That's going to be fun because I got two people that do not like the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
A
very
Lions
interesting.
fan, who JT Kirk, who said last year the Cowboys ripped off the Lions because of officials, and of course Rennie L being a Packers fan. The Packers, you remember we were in Georgia last year with Atwood, and we went in the pizza restaurant. I went and looked, and like the Cowboys are down 40 points. Like what the
Mhm.
hell? But
Oh,
yes,
and also tomorrow, I forgot to put in there at 1 p.m., I am going to be building the Dallas Cowboy helmet during my build stream tomorrow. So Wednesday, we're doing the 12 movies at Christmas again with the Gremlins. Thursday, we're doing Alistair Sim, A Christmas Carol, which is sometimes called Scrooge. Saturday at noon, we're doing the Santa Claus. Then we are taking a break. We are going to Universal. So our next scheduled stream will be Wednesday, December 11th, um, with Elf as our movie in question. Uh, Thursday, 8, Dadman and Daisy Blossom Flower Child are going to be talking Battleship. Then on Friday the 13th at 10 p.m., we are going to be talking about Krampus. So that one's cool. Then we have the 12 movies of Christmas. We're going to do kids' movies. Some of them are going to be Rudolph the Small One, Santa Claus, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, The Little Drummer Boy, Charlie Brown Christmas. We're going to be talking about them. That's Saturday, December 14th at noon. Sunday, we're doing A Christmas Vacation, the original A Christmas Stories on Monday the 16th. Tuesday, December 17th, Home Alone 2. Wednesday, the 18th, Scrooged with Bill Murray, our second version of A Christmas Carol that we're doing. The final movie we're going to do is Klaus, and that is a Netflix movie that I found out about last year, I think, or maybe a couple years ago. And it is a lovely movie. So we're going to end with that. That will be our final 12 movie of Christmas. And then that Friday, me and Dadman with Daisy Blossom Flower Child are going to be talking Christmas traditions. And I misspelled traditions and oopsie daisy, but that will be Friday at 8 p.m. If you would like to support me, you can buy me a cup of coffee at coffee.com, or you can check out my creator wish list at throne.com. Both of those are Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. You want to send us something through snail mail? When I say us, I mean me, Dadman Walking, or Ango, my youngest, who is a streamer on Twitch. You can at P.O. Box 26603, Jacksonville, Florida 32226. My streams and VODs, YouTube at Mrs. Dadman Walking 55 with the period after the Mrs. Twitch, Mrs. Dadman Walking, no punctuation, no numbers. Social media, Twix at M Dadman Walking, Threads at Mrs. Dadman Walking 55, no punctuation, and Discord, Mrs. Dadman Walking, no punctuation, no numbers. If you want to join my server on Discord, go over there, do a friend request. I will accept that friend request. I will send you an invite to the server and you can join. If you don't want to join the server, go over there, do a friend request. I'll accept the friend request. I will still send you an invite to the server, but just don't accept it, and that's okay. Yes, it was a double I for the win. Yes.
yeah. Well,
So,
fans asked, how did a guy that sold furniture stay in that great a shape?
well, I have. I don't know. He picks up the mattresses, I guess. I agree.
By the way, By the way, Steve said it was a nice break dance. I mean breakdown, Mrs. Dadman.
Oh, thank you.
Well, folks,
Um,
can I say real quick in here
can
though, Mrs.
can
You
I
did
let me finish. And
okay.
everybody, if you want to go watch Dadman, every of his social media, his YouTube, his Twitch, his uh, Twix, they're all Dadman Walking 55. Dadman Walking with a G. There is an imposter out there. I don't think they're really active, but still, make sure
Not
you go
lately.
to Dadman Walking 55 for all of his social um, media accounts.
Hmm. Well, thank you for that shout out, Miss. But what I want to do is shout you out, especially folks. I do want you to I appreciate your support for the missus. She's 280 subscribers, only 220 short for monetizing on the YouTube side. But as always, she hates asking, but she's trying to make a job of this, of something to pay for itself too. We hope that you enjoy the content and feel free if you can help out. It's wonderful because StreamYard costs have gone up. The time and labor that she puts in this, because she does not put out half-assed stuff. You do not know. I tell you, I would not be streaming half of what I do without her. If you look at the college football graphics I've used in the past, look at my thumbnails and everything else. She does all of it. It's amazing. It's great looking, and
Oh, thank you.
so if you can support on Ko-fi, the creator keeps more of the money than YouTube's and everything else, and so Ko-fi, buy one or multiple cups of coffee, like she said. I personally appreciate it. If you like what I do too, support her because she's shooting for the monetization. But most of all, thank y'all for being here tonight. And I really, last thing to make you really embarrassed though, but I'm really proud of you tonight.
Oh, thank
You were
you.
highly nervous, Betsy. Folks, y'all don't
I
know the
was
stress she
very
was
nervous.
under before this started because she said, I can't talk like this. I can't do things like this. You do that. I don't do that. And I'm just, and I'm like, yeah, you can do it. You have a good gift of gabbing, and you did wonderfully well tonight. I'm proud of you and look forward to seeing more from you with this type of stuff and
Oh,
all that.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
But thank you again for asking me to be your co-partner with this movie series. So
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for saying yes, because it would have been hard doing this all by myself. But everybody, I do want to thank each and every one of you for being here. We still have, how many people are still over? 9 people are still watching, and we have,
yeah.
I think, 10 likes. So
Yep.
that is very good.
And
Excellent.
a new sub tonight
And
too.
a new sub. So whoever subbed it, thank you very much, and thank you, Simply Steve, for that wonderful
Oh, by the
compliment.
way,
I really appreciate it.
I've never watched Gremlins.
Well, we'll watch it together. I watched it so long ago, and as I tell everybody, I have a horrific memory, so it'll be probably like brand new to me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm looking forward to watching it.
the thing is, I never got Gremlins, but I saw Gremlins 2 on some cable thing or whatever, and I fell in love with Gremlins 2. Start spreading the news. I mean, just it was like a great. It just was the only thing was the spider, but I just love Gremlins 2 so much it was crazy. But
Oh, well, wonderful. That one is not tomorrow because Dadman is doing his football show tomorrow.
right,
So
it'll be
go over
Wednesday
there
night.
and watch that show on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we will do talk about Gremlins. So I am really, really looking forward to that. This was fun. Um, so yeah, yay! Thank you guys so much. So I am now going to say goodbye because we've almost been streaming. Um,
You
Simply
almost made
Steve
it 2
says,
hours.
"Oh, you have a Phoebe Cates character trauma, eh?"
Oh gosh. Oh well,
Oh,
there's no other
goodness.
movies with her in it. So,
Okay.
but he did say you did a great job. Make sure you
Yes,
saw that.
thank you, I did. So everybody, I will see you next time, and remember to be kind, to show love. You're not promised tomorrow, so go to bed each night with no regrets. And most of all, I wish you peace. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. I hope you have a wonderful one, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. You can say bye-bye, Dad Man.
Bye all, Dad Man. Bye, Dad Man.
Bye, Dad Man. I'll see you guys later. Bye.